say thank you for speaking to us. We're grateful that you've been able to join us. But what would you say that have been your experiences as you cut across America, the rest of the world, based on what they do with cybersecurity and what currently we are doing here as a developing country or the developing continent that we need to take cognizance of?
You know, the developed world, they are conscious about cyber because today the greatest asset you can have is information. Information is key for every single organization. Just think about your competitors having your intellectual property, having essential information. They will have a competitive advantage on you. And mind you, today we host a lot of information, like information that is private. Information is key. When someone has information about you, it can easily hack you. So I would say, in short, information is the key. And the developed world they understood the importance of, taking care of those information through what we call the CIA, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality simply means that making sure that only authorized people have access to the information. Integrity means that making sure that only authorized people actually modify the information, and availability has to do with making sure that information is available anytime needed. So they understood the importance of information. That's why we have cybersecurity that have to do with the electronic aspect of information. And these fall in a bigger umbrella called information assurance, where you talk about physical, like paper, information on paper, right? And then you have the electronic version, which is the cyber.
Now, we know that artificial intelligence has become a key issue when it comes to all the conversations now. But how do we marry the two or look at them differently? Artificial intelligence and their effect on cybersecurity.
AI is all about building applications, right, that will predict what you think of. Like, even if you take like your phone, when you are typing on your phone, it can predict what you're going to type next. That's AI. So a lot of applications today, like the airlines, are building the application based on AI, because if one flight cancel or one flight delay, the AI is supposed to predict like how to adjust the other flight. So nowadays we see that we have a lot of applications online. Like most companies have the applications online, meaning that even today people work from home. The presence of people online make it a very easy for hackers to be able to hack into system. Now, let me tell you something. There are 3 ways to hack a system, right? 3 ways. So the first one is talking about physical access. So if I have physical access to your machine or your network, and let's say somebody come to TV3 and I have access to your computer, I'll be able to maybe implant a malware or a backdoor where I can retrieve information for your system. That's the physical access of it. That's why you guys have security here, to make sure that people that are entering this building are authorized to do that. That's one aspect. The second aspect has to do with digital access. What kind of information can I find on people online? What kind of information can I find about TV3 online? So if I go online, let's go to one of your workers. I go online and find a worker here that was on LinkedIn, and I see that he's a system admin, and they are talking about securing Windows Server 2016. Then I know that you guys run Windows Server 2016 here. So digital access, the kind of information you publish, will give some advantage to the hacker. And the last one is the social access, where we talk about social engineering. So in social engineering, you have 3 types. You can have the in-person, where I can talk to you and try to harvest information from you, or it could be on phone, where I'll try to make a call to pretend to be someone else to take information from you. And the last one, which we all know, is the electronic aspect, where people do phishing, right? They'll do phishing to try to call you to get information for you. People go to the extent to mimic. I can actually mimic your page, deceive somebody that you are coming to, let's say, a 3news.com page. I can mimic that page and maybe change the domain a little bit, make it 3news with s.com, and try to redirect people to there to harvest information. So these are ways that hackers are always thinking to hack people, because the presence online today is massive. Every company is online today.
Now, I would want to talk about three areas, mainly because of what you're saying, the education aspect of it. We're talking about also corporate governance within the structure of entrepreneurship, how we need to improve it, and then also within the structure of general security. How would you say that should be in terms of all that needs to be done?
So let me tell you, there's a saying that the weakest link to any organization is human beings. You can have the best security you want, right? You can have all the firewall, the antivirus, all the best tools, right? But if you don't train your people the right way, right, your security could be breached. It takes one person to do something wrong to have your entire organization compromised. So if somebody sends a link to one of your workers and they don't think before clicking it, what happened? Right? You might have the best defense, they click on that link, it's going to create a backdoor. A backdoor simply means that a way for the hacker to enter your organization, right? So I would say that companies like in Ghana, they have to start incorporating that security into their day-to-day life. Security is not just the job of people in IT, it's the job of everybody. Because if somebody from HR is compromised, the entire organization is compromised. So what I've seen in abroad is that before you get hired, right, you have to go through security training, security awareness training when you get hired. And then every year, you're going to take it again so that you are aware of things that are happening. So we have to include that in our day-to-day life in office to make sure that the job of security is not for the Chief Information Security Officer, but is the job of everybody within the organization. And we have to start developing that mentality in Ghana.
That said, what should we be doing as a country? Identifying the young talent, those who have the potential, incorporating all this into education.
Do you know in China, TikTok, what TikTok show people in China is different from what TikTok show people in Ghana? Because China knows that the future belongs to the youth, belongs to the young ones. So they make sure that the algorithm that they develop for TikTok in China, it shows them engineering stuff. So they are geared toward engineering. But here in Ghana, when you go on social media, what do you see? People dancing all day long. If I decide to do maybe a vlog or a video on cybersecurity, maybe I'll only get maybe 5 likes, right? I've traveled, I realized that especially West Africa, we are more advanced than Central Africa. And we are on the way. And I think people will start thinking, sometimes it's painful to see that I come to Ghana a lot, I come to Africa a lot, I come to do penetration testing work, hacking work and all that, and they don't have people locally to do it. And we don't have even people that are interested to be trained, you know, so it's difficult. So we are appealing to the government of all those countries to know that today information is the key. They have to make sure that the youth develop an interest in cyber security. That's really important.
Although you are foremostly an expert in cybersecurity, we're talking artificial intelligence, general technology itself, I see also you seem to have an interest for entrepreneurship and also DJing. How is it for you?
So I started DJing in 1996. That's where I started. I work with a couple of media houses, maybe you might not know. I work with GBC, Radio Savannah up north. I worked with Radio Lomé before. I worked with Volta Premier FM in Volta region. So I have a solid media background. I can tell you, still I DJ. I DJ a lot of weddings, baby shower, anniversary, funerals in Ghana, in the US for the Ghanaian community. So I'm still present in doing my DJ stuff because it's something that I love to do. You cannot take it away from me. And I'm also a very, in terms of cyber, I'm very well known in the US because I have a cyber school that I've been training people for the past 12 years. I've trained more than 5,000 students. If you go to Maryland, Virginia, you name it, you say Mr. Kosi, like almost everybody know me in the community, especially the Cameroonian, the Nigerian, the Ghana, the Togolese community. They actually know me very well. But before I go, I have a tip for everybody. If you want to be secure online, right, there are only 2 things. I'll say 2 things that you need to really do to be secure. Now, is that not going to give you 100% security, but if you change your password very often, make sure your password is changed very often, maybe every 60 days you change your password, make it very long, make it harder for hackers to hack your account. Second tips, make sure you update your system. Like when you see those Windows patches coming, apply them, because that will be life savior for you.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us. And we've been speaking to Kwasi Azumaro, and I can tell you that he's a man who knows his worth and his work, not only having an interest in entrepreneurship, but also cybersecurity, but also DJs as well. But he's been giving us some tips, but educating generally on perhaps what we can do as a country to make sure that we elevate what the discussion, the policy dimension is, and the general atmosphere of the economy on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, etc. I hope that you did enjoy the conversation. You can find more of this on TV3 Ghana, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and please make sure that you watch this as well. But we're now back to the studio.